Hey guys, C4L Per Hacks, and welcome to this webinar. Now, this webinar is going to kind of fluctuate back and forth between some screenshots and between me being here live. And it's taken me a little bit of getting used to the technology on these things, but I think it's going to be really helpful for you. So here's a couple things we're going to talk about today. Is number one, I'm going to introduce you to the new Mind Force Inner Circle coaching system and kind of give you an idea of why you might want to do it. And again, it's totally up to you based on what your goals are, based on where you see yourself in the next year or more. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some techniques though today that we're going to talk about. It's going to be kind of tied into this Triad system that I teach and that will benefit you. So I'm going to give you a physical chi exercise, not in an exercise, but also so you can feel it. You're going to feel it from me. And even if this isn't necessarily live, you can still feel the energy because the energy is real. You can feel the energy on a recorded video, DVD, whatever. You can feel the energy. The energy doesn't have any time or distance. And that's the key to this type of training, is that I'm going to enable you to understand fully how your physical integrates with the mental, the mindset, the mind force, and how those work and integrate with the spiritual, right? Everybody talks about mind, body, spirit, right? It's kind of a catchphrase in the esoteric, new age, transformation, high performance area. Everybody talks about that. But very few people really understand how they integrate together. Now, I'm not saying I'm the world's foremost expert on all things like this, but I'm going to tell you right now that the Mind Force method was put together in order to deliver amazing results to you. So let's go ahead and get started. And what I'd like you to do also is as we go through this webinar, is I just want you to relax and enjoy it. And I want you to do the exercises as we go through them, and also do them again after we do them live here, or as it is simulated, right? Because this is more than likely a recording for you. And that's okay. Again, this doesn't have to be live for you to feel anything. It can be recorded. And that's the significant thing that I want you to take away, is that the energy is real, and it's real all the time, because the energy is the energy. And so I'm going to hang loose. I'm going to have a good time doing this. My energy is really calm and relaxed. I feel good. I've got a beer here with me to kind of, if I need to make sure that my throat is lubricated. I hope you don't take offense to that, because this is all about being relaxed and in control at all times. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're going to be talking about here. And if I've done this technology correctly, you'll still see me up in the corner, one of the corners, whatever the case might be. But let's go ahead and take a look at the Inner Circle, the secret society of Mind Force and quantum QIGONG specialists. And let's talk about what we're going to talk about, which is how to create a breakthrough transformation with the Mind Force method. That's really the key, is you creating a breakthrough transformation. That's it. Okay. And what I hope to accomplish in this session, this workshop, is to give you that information so that it'll work. But here's a warning. The material discussed in this seminar, it's very highly regarded and is hidden information. Not everybody teaches this, I promise. And it's only to be used by responsible adults. If you're not responsible and you're not an adult, please leave now. Now, of course, if you're not an adult and your parents have agreed to it, that's another story. But let's not get into that. Caution, this seminar was specifically designed for you to actually feel the Mind Force chi energy. Up to about 75% of the people listening to this will be affected by the chi in one of three ways. Number one, physically. You might feel certain strange sensations that you've never felt before, like a wave or a tingling feeling that'll be kind of unique. Mentally, okay, I'll be using certain Mind Force techniques that could cause you to feel a recognition, possibly days later, of things that you haven't thought about in years. You'll feel a difference as I will rewire your brain to some extent. And this is really how you're going to understand how this system works. But see, when you look at the system, how it works, I want you to understand that I'm going to be teaching you how to get this system to work for you. So the things that I'm going to do, and as I mentioned right here, these are things you're going to be able to do in a very short period of time as well. So it's not just me, okay? Spiritually, this is the most intense, as your spirit is you and will have the freedom to act on my advices and will allow you to experience your spirit through dreams or other spiritual realities. And this is kind of a weird thing. We probably will cross over a lot of weird areas in this training, areas that you may or may not have even thought about in your lifetime. But I'm going to bring them to recognition so that you understand that there is more to this training than meets the eye, which is the key, right? So if any of those types of things might bother you, should they happen, you might want to consider leaving this training now. And I really do mean that, because I don't want you to be uncomfortable. I don't want you to think I'm trying to manipulate you or anything like that. However, I won't be trying to manipulate you. I will be manipulating you, because the chi is strong, the mind force is strong, and I'm going to tie that together in order to affect you spiritually in a positive way, though, right? You can be manipulated negatively or positively. Before we get started, this is real important. Pen and paper, take notes. If you're really serious. If you're not really serious, you don't even need to be on this. You should probably just go away, because why spend an hour or so and not really get the full effect of it. But if you're here, pen and paper, take notes. Remove all distractions. Turn off your cell phone, your email, Facebook, anything that could distract you. If you're going to listen to this and watch this while you're doing something else, you're not going to get the full benefit. And you're probably not even somebody that would want to do this training if you can't stay focused for even an hour, right? Stay until the end, as I have a special surprise for those who do. So obviously, I'm trying to bait you to stay till the end, which hopefully the training will be good enough that you're going to want to stay to the end no matter what, which is, my hope. So what you're going to learn today, you're going to be learning the mind force method that very few people know. I'm going to teach you things in this training that very few know. It's very rarely taught to the public, and you will learn information on this, whether you've been doing this for 1 day, 1 year, 100 years. You're going to learn information on here that I believe that you can immediately access and get results from. That's why I'm doing it, to give you results. Now, obviously, I've got my hidden motives. My hidden motives are that when you get results, you're going to want to join the inner circle or any of my coaching programs, right? But the whole goal behind all of my training and all my coaching is to get you results. If I don't get you results, then it doesn't mean anything, okay? If you've ever wanted to have strong energy, mind force, emotional power, and spiritual perception, this is the workshop for you. Even if you're a highly skilled hypnotist, highly skilled yoga instructor, Reiki instructor, psychic, QIGONG instructor, martial artist, high performance coach, you name it. You're still going to get benefit out of this information and the training, because it was designed to meet you at your needs. And that's really the key behind this. This could change your life, and I hope it does. Just as it has changed thousands of people from all over the world. It's a magnificent system. And this seminar, I spent a lot of time putting it together detailed so that you can get, like I said, a transformation. I want you to leave this training session with a couple thoughts, and I'll go into more detail on this. But the biggest thing is we're going to talk about probably four different exercises. My goal is for you to have a breakthrough transformation today. I'm going to show you how this method will provide clarity to many areas of your life. And that's the key. When you write down on your notes, write down, how do I achieve clarity? If you don't understand what clarity means, look it up, or I'll explain it to you now, which is really so that you have a clear pathway of what you want to do with what you want to do, which is, again, it's going to be open-ended. And I'm going to go into some of those areas of your life that this can be meaningful. By the way, I will make these slides available for you if you so desire. So let me talk to you a little bit about a breakthrough in these areas. Now you can see these areas on the screen, but I'm going to switch back to live mode and I'm going to kind of look at them and explain them to you live, face to face. And I think it'll be a little bit better for you in order to see. There, we're back. Okay, great. So are you seeking a breakthrough? If you're not seeking a breakthrough, then you probably should find out why not, right? Because you should always have a breakthrough. You should always have you should always be transforming from one place to another. Okay, if you are not in the process of achieving a new goal, then your life is stagnant. I hate to say that, but it's true. So let's talk I'm going to talk through a few of these things. I'm not going to go into super detail, but I want you to think about it. Okay, because the only way I can help you is if you think about areas that we can work together and I can get you the highest performance that you've ever had in your life. And I'm going to go through these items one by one, or as much as I can. So energy and vitality, it's really all about energy. Everything that we're going to talk about today is going to be condensed into this energetic model that when you increase the energy, you increase your ability to get so much more done in your life. You increase the ability to have a more satisfying life. And I call it energy and vitality. I'm in my 50s and I don't feel like I am. And so my hope over the years is to increase my energy so that I continue to maintain a youthful attitude, a youthful feeling, and the ability to get more out of my life. And I hope the same thing for you. I'm not on medications. Many people my age are on medications, friends of mine, and it's sad. And I believe, part of it's genetic, but part of it's attitude, it's mindset, it's understanding that you can create the body, mind, spirit that you desire. And I really want you to grasp these concepts, this energy and vitality. This energy is going to create for you an amazing amount of abundance in your life. Financial abundance. What does that have to do with energy? Well, when you get your energy right, and I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, everything becomes better. Your abundance goes up, and abundance is one of those things that is abundant life, abundant health, abundant relationships, abundant financially, right? Mental clarity and power. This is a key. All of these things integrate together that if you are missing one of these pieces, you're not quite exactly as high performing as you can be. And whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, hundreds, you can still have that clarity and power. Okay. Emotional stability. Do you have emotional stability? And these are questions I ask you so that you can write them down. And again, I want you to look at this training as almost like going through a session that's designed to bring some type of clarity to your life. And like I mentioned, breakthrough and transformation, I'll say it, probably several times, but I want it in your mind. I want you to think, okay, how can I make a breakthrough with emotional stability? Am I emotionally stable? Do I feel that my emotional state is where I want it to be? And if it's not, we can work on that. But the only way you can work on something is when you identify that maybe something's missing or that something you need to enhance. And trust me, all the areas that I'm going down here, I've had to enhance all of them and continue to enhance them. To think that you can just do something one time is crazy. Because think about it. We eat every day. You don't eat one time in your life. You don't sleep one time in your life. You don't have sex one time in your life. These are continual things that create balance in our life. Business growth. Okay. Are you in business? Do you want to experience business growth? And the question is, why aren't you? It usually comes down to a factor of your emotional stability. It comes down to your belief factor. It comes down to your willingness to adhere to principles that can take you to the next level in business. Okay. So I know that sounds weird in a kind of an esoteric training, talk about business growth, right? But again, once you get the energy, once you get the mindset, you can achieve anything. It's really true. Okay. Spiritual intuition. It's a big thing. Some people want spiritual intuition. Some people don't. Some people don't believe in it. You might be watching this right now and you say, I don't believe in that. You will believe it once you experience it. And the only way you can experience it is by getting your body and your mind to a high level of vibration, to the point where you can actually bring in the information that you need in order to get that spiritual intuition. Relationship enhancement. Again, relationship enhancement again comes down to energy. It comes down to how your energy is to the person that you're looking to have a relationship with. And that includes, but is not limited to, spouses. It's not limited to relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend. It's not related, business relationships, father, son, daughter, mother relationships. All relationships is an energy. It's an energy transformation, or transference of energy. And when that energy is good, you got a great relationship, right? When the energy is a little stagnant, the relationship has a tendency to be off. And so I'm going to show you how you can get it so that it's where it needs to be. Again, we're not going to cover all that today. It's impossible. All these items, these are techniques that take time to hone down and to get to work. But I'm giving you the possibilities of what's there. And I want you to recognize things and say, yes, that's me right there. There might be 20 on this list or whatever. And you might say, there's one that I need, but I need it so bad that I'm going to do what I need to do to get it. Right. So that's how it goes. Health and longevity. Again, I don't think any of us are promised a day. We don't know. Right. But what we can do is we can build up our health and longevity using factors that we can control. We can't control when we might not be around anymore. Okay. I believe this body is a shell, and that it will go away, and that my spirit will still be alive. So the essence of me and the essence of you is always going to be there. But health and longevity is, while we're here on this earth, is having the very best health and longevity. So it means that no matter how old you are, whether you're 20, 30, 40, up to 100, you've got the best health and longevity. And you can live as long as you can, as robust as you can. Okay. Like I said, I'm in my 50s. I don't feel like I'm in my 50s. And it's because of specific training that I've done, so that I don't need to adhere to somebody's idea of what a 50-year-old is, or a 55-year-old is, or whatever. Okay. You create your own story about who you are and what you want to be, energetically, mentally, spiritually. That's it. Right. Now, sexual prowess. How can you increase your sexual prowess? That's a big thing. Both men and women. So don't think it's just men or just women. It's everyone wants that. And again, that comes down to energy. It comes down to mental mindset, believability, and it comes down to spiritual calmness, right? There's a lot of factors that go into sexual prowess. And again, what does that mean for you? It might not mean anything. You might be totally fine there, but there's somebody watching this that's going to say, that's what I need. How do I get that? Right? Makes sense. Unlimited confidence. This is something that I would say 90%, if not more, of people, including myself. There are times in my life where I'm not confident. But here's the thing. What do you do when you're not confident? There are techniques and methods that you can use in order to get confident. And that's what I will share with you obviously in the inner circle and in other training that I have, but I want you to, again, recognize, again, this is recognition. Where do you have maybe something that you want to create more power in, right? It could be unlimited confidence. How do you get unlimited confidence? Confidence is very simply an aspect of your life that you have confidence in, is something that you can pull off, something that you have the ability to do at a high level, and you can do it. So for example, somebody that wants to be confident, let's say with a relationship, they're confident in something else. Could be cooking, it could be sports, it could be computer programming, it could be, you name it. But there's something you're confident in. I want you to write down on your piece of paper, what am I confident in? There is something or some things that you're confident in. See, what you can do is you can connect a bridge from where you're confident in other areas to where you want to be confident. You see, because everyone does have that confidence. Iron self-image. Again, self-image and confidence go hand in hand, but I want you to have an iron self-image, which means your self-image of yourself is ironclad, that you know where you're going, what you're doing, and you feel good about it. And it doesn't matter about the exterior. It's all about the mindset, the energy that you have. Again, doesn't matter if you're male or female, doesn't matter if you're 25 or 95. It all comes down to having that iron self-image that you know who you are. You have the confidence, you're a controller. That's what we talk about all the time, and we'll go into more detail. Incredible focus. One of the biggest keys that when I coach people for high performance is focus. Al, how do I become more focused? I want to become more focused and be able to get more done in the time that I'm given in my job, my business, whatever. Okay. So when you learn focus, as I teach it in the Mind Force method through a lot of the training that we do, is that you'll learn to be able to, again, take that focus from one area and move it to another. That's really the key to all of this training, is that it's cross training. It's cross-functional. It allows you to be able to use techniques from many different areas of your life. I want to help you go from confusion to clarity. And I get this way where I'm confused in the sense that I'm like, all right, what do I really need to do today? What's the most important thing that I need to do? When I'm in that way, I don't get very much done. But when I have clarity and I know, okay, I've got to do these 3 things today and these 3 things only, that's called clarity. And I'll help you get clarity if that's something that you need. I'm going to help you go from overwhelmed and stressed to in control. I call it being a controller. Sometimes people are overwhelmed, and usually it's more mentally than anything else. They feel overwhelmed. So the question, and again, I'd write this down, why do I feel overwhelmed, or do I feel overwhelmed, and why? See, questions are the biggest things that can help you in your life. That's it. Ask yourself questions, good quality questions. Phenomenal. Okay, so habits and ritual implementation. So how are we going to go to build confidence? We're going to take you from confusion to clarity. We're going to build the self-image. We're going to take you from overwhelmed to in control. We're going to do that by creating habits and ritual implementation. Sometimes when I use the word ritual, people go, oh boy, here we go. Ritual, it sounds weird. It sounds like something people don't want to do. But in fact, you've got to create a ritual, a routine. You've got to create a habit in order to remove, let's say, bad habits and create new good habits. See, oftentimes it's a matter of taking the bad habit and just replacing it with something new that's better for you. So if you wake up at late in the morning and we can institute a program to get you up earlier, to get you more productive earlier, then that's a habit. It's an implementation. It's a ritual. And then the last thing is abundance, manifestation, and attraction. So this is a big thing. People, I would say 90, I don't know. I don't know the exact percentages, 80%, whatever. It is when I talk to people on the phone and I set up a clarity session with them or a call, and I ask them, what is it that you would like to accomplish? A lot of it comes down to abundance of manifestation and attraction, right? They want more out of life, whether that's finances, whether it's health, longevity, all of the items that I just went over. Most people think about that. They think about it a lot, let me tell you. And I want to be able to make sure that you understand that abundance, manifestation, attraction are physical, mental, and spiritual in nature. Now, people that have it down, they've already got it connected. They've got the pieces connected, whether they've done it consciously or subconsciously. Again, here's the list. And again, like I said, I'll be happy to send these slides to you so you have them. But again, take notes, right? Do I want more abundance, manifestation, and attraction abilities? If I do, how can I do that? We'll cover some of that today. In fact, I'm going to give you my how to manifest in 3 days formula today. It's going to be towards the end of the training, but you're going to get it. You're going to love it. Promise you that. So let's go down to the next page. One question to ask yourself as you act on this information advice: what's the cost of you not doing this? And you should use this question really for anything that you're thinking about. If you're looking to do anything, whether it's a business venture, whether it's a new job, a career, going into school, what's the cost of me not doing this? I ask this question all the time when I do training, when I go into different things, when I go into investments, consulting jobs, whatever the case might be, coaching, whatever. This is what I ask myself, this question. But I want you to think on this also, because this is very, very powerful. And write this down right now. Abundance doesn't create power. Power creates abundance. And in this training, I'm going to talk about power, and I'm going to isolate it into what I call the Triad system. And I'm going to give you techniques for both physical, chi energy, the mental, as well as spiritual. And so when you get done with this training, you're going to have these three elements. At least you're going to have a recognition of it. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to have the keys to all the systems, but you're going to have an understanding of what it means. And even if, like I said, if you're already a high performance practitioner, it's going to enhance your abilities tremendously. That I promise. But understand this: abundance doesn't create power. Power creates abundance. If I can help you get the power, you can create the abundance, because the abundance most of the time is right here. It's not a physical thing that's out there, because most abundance, most things in this world, when I say this world, this plane of existence, are illusions that we've been seeing our entire lives, and it's not real. I'll get into more on that as well. You're going to learn high performance control and power methods. Again, write that down. High performance control and power methods. Once you have control and power, the world is your oyster. The world is your oyster when you do it the right way. You're also going to learn the 6 pillars and the 3 pathways for you to get the results from this system. A system that thousands of people have done from all over the world. I'm here to show you what I've learned over the years and how you can immediately get it to work for you. And today, I'm going to give you techniques that you can immediately use. The system is only for the chosen few. Are you one of them? Now, when I say the system, I'm talking about the inner circle. And I will go into more detail on what the inner circle is. And if you want to participate, you're welcome to do so. But why I say the chosen few, it's really self-choice too. It's like it's you saying to yourself, I want to be one of the chosen few. I want to do this. I want to be a high-performing chosen few, right? And the chosen few are those people that make the decision that they're going to do the work, to put in the flight time, to get the execution in there so that they can make it happen. If you're not the type of person that's willing to invest time, again, you probably should get off this call right now and go do something that's less intensive, because this will be an intensive amount of training, but the end result is going to be really great. Think on this. Surround yourself with those on the same mission as you. This is a key high performance tidbit, golden ticket, golden tip. I love this image as it shows these lions and lionesses walking in the wilderness on a mission. If you're going to get good at anything, you need to be linked up with individuals that are like-minded and focused on where you want to go. If you think you're going to be a lone wolf, probably not going to work that well for you. But when you tie yourself into individuals that can help you get from where you are right now, wherever that is, to where you want to go, your results go up exponentially. And that's really the key. I want you to relax and accept that the breakthrough transformation will happen to you. See, anytime you're relaxed, your body and mind are able to take in stimulus that enables you to get power out of the situation. I'm relaxed. I feel great. And if I didn't feel great, I wouldn't be doing this. Because I know one thing is that the energy that I put off, if it's not high quality energy, the individual that I'm working with is not going to get the best impression of that energy. We'll be discussing how to increase your chi energy from a physical level, how to use mind force to reprogram your mind to become a controller. It's the mindset of a high performing person, and understanding the real meaning of spiritual and how you can tap into your spiritual powers. Now, you may look at those and say, hey, I like 2 out of 3. I like 1 out of 3. I like all 3 out of 3. That's fine. Because in this system, whether you like it or not, you're going to expand greatly in all of those areas, which is quite frankly, very cool. And the key to how muscle memory works to develop your mind force power. Okay, so this is the symbol for QIGONG, which stands for energy work. And the reason I bring this up first, because I mentioned real early on, is that this is really all about that energy. And it is a physical energy, but it's a mental energy. It's a spiritual energy. We're energy beings, okay? Like I said, this shell, when this body goes, you're going to be an energetic being again as you are now, maybe just in a different format. And so the reason I bring this up is that most QIGONG or energy work is based on postures and breathing. And some of the things I teach, although we include that, are different than that. I've had so many QIGONG instructors train with me that had 20 years of experience, but no real skills, sad to say. Because the problem is that most systems produce relatively tame results. They've been taught things that just are not effective. The Secret Society of Mind Force and Quantum QIGONG, the secrets of the Triad system, I'm going to show you how this is different. And even if you're a QIGONG instructor, you're a Reiki instructor, I promise you one thing. Using the methods that I teach will enhance your abilities exponentially. And when I say exponentially, what exactly does that mean? Because that is vague, right? But guess what? It's vague on purpose. I don't know you. So I don't know where you're at right now. So I don't know how further down the road I can enhance you. But I can promise you this. I've never had anyone go through this training that didn't say to me, this really opened my eyes to how I can get from point A to point B or point Z for that matter. And so that's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to give you techniques for each one. I'm going to let you experience it yourself. So again, this is an experience. It's a breakthrough. It's a transformation. It's not just I'm sharing some information with you. Very few people will do this, by the way. I'll be one of the only people that you'll ever be able to feel the energy. Not that they can't, but either they won't or they don't know how to. I'll show you why the Secret Triad method is so much more effective than 90% of QIGONG training. But before I do that, let me tell you my story. And you'll see it as you go through. By the end of this training, you're going to say, absolutely, I could feel it. It's amazing. Okay. But again, that's not me. It's you. So it's not going to be me. It's you. If you don't already know, my name is Sifu El Perhax. I'm the author, creator, visionary behind the Mind Force and Quantum Qigong method. Best-selling author. You can go to Amazon right now and pick up my books. There's 5 hard volume sets that have been bestsellers for years. They've been used as manuals in all of the different aspects of the Mind Force method. Those aren't all the books I have. I have other books that are in digital format that you can get also. I have a very diverse background. I built my discipline at an early age as a competitive bodybuilder. Here's me with Lee Haney, 7-time Mr. Olympia, and one of the guys I trained with in California. And again, this is where I started to create that mindset, that power mindset. The point is, when I do something, I go totally all in to seek out the best and learn their coveted secrets. And you should do the same. I was obsessed with bodybuilding. I achieved my goals there. And then I moved on to the next phase of my life. And that next phase was martial arts and high performance training methods. So, right, I did the bodybuilding. I loved it. And then I said, I want to go on the next thing. Always wanted to do martial arts since I was a little boy. And finally got into it and started training my body and my mind through the external martial arts, though, not internal martial arts. It was all kicking, punching, that kind of thing. And over the last 25 years, I can't even believe I'm saying that. I can't believe that I've done anything for 25 years, quite frankly. Seriously. I don't feel that old, right? To have something, anytime you can reference 25 years, that's a long time, right? But I've been on this personal journey, and it's one that I can share with others, but it's been a long time. I've probably forgot more than most people that do this type of thing even know. And that's even if they're legit. Most people are not even legit. They just learned something, they copied something, and then they try to teach it and say, hey, I'm a master, right? What can you do, master? Show me, master. That's what I always say. Show me. Don't tell me, show me. I'm going to do one thing better, and that is I'm going to show you how to do it so that you can feel it, you can experience it. Not a situation that, oh, it's just this guy. I really created the Mind Force method for myself. So understand I use this personally every day. That's the key. It's not just something I created for to try to get somebody in some information. It's stuff I use every day. And if it doesn't work, I don't use it. Now let's talk about the Mind Force Power Framework. The Mind Force Power Framework allows the fastest results in the minimum amount of time, because that's what I wanted. I didn't want to take the longest road to get there. I wanted to take the quickest path to get the best results. In order to do that, I had to meet a lot of people that were not very valuable to me, and I had to meet a lot of people that were valuable to me, but it was a sifting and sorting process. So if you look at the screen here, and you've probably seen this framework, this pathway, these pillars, and this is the framework for esoteric transformation. And I'll explain why I've created it in each section, but it's really designed to develop extreme confidence and create new habits or rituals. And really creating the new habits and rituals is how you're going to create that confidence. And it's because you're putting in repetition, right? You're putting in reps. You're putting in time. I call it flight time. And the more flight time that you put into anything, the better you get. And we'll cover that in just a minute. First thing is quantum qigong, building up massive amounts of physical energy that you can feel, okay? Will help you develop yin and yang, which is two different types of energy. There's many different types of energy, but yin and yang are the easiest ones to describe in the beginning. And you can't have one without the other. If you've ever seen the yin and yang symbol, you know that. Qi manipulation skills. Now, Qi manipulation is taking that energy and manipulating it for many different ways, for externalization of the Qi, healing, so on and so forth. Healing with Qi, obviously. Cultivating health, vitality, internal power. I've already kind of talked about it, but that's what you learn in the quantum qigong system. Esoteric meditations is the next thing on the list. Controlled relaxation, getting your body to a great state of relaxation or dead body. Lucid dreaming, out-of-body experiences, remote viewing, tapping into your spiritual side, obviously. We got psychic power, psychic perception, psychic intuition, precognition, mind reading, several different levels of mind reading, mind-to-mind communication, clairvoyance, super sensitivity, and awareness. Now, most people, when they hear quantum qigong, they hear esoteric meditations. They're pretty cool with that. But some people, when they hear psychic power, they are like, okay, I'm done with this. That sounds creepy. That sounds weird. Doesn't sound normal. But I want you to reflect how normal it is in your life. And we're going to talk a little bit about it a little bit more in detail. But you've all got psychic recognition. You've all got psychic power. You had it as a child. Most people have it very strong as a child. And what happens is over time, they mute it. They take it and they squeeze it down because people tell them that they're not really seeing or feeling or experiencing what they're seeing or feeling. And so what this does is this training allows you to open back up that psychic perception. Now, does that mean that you're going to be reading everyone's mind and you know what everybody's? No, not necessarily. However, it's going to bring your ability and sensitivity and awareness to a higher state. It's almost like, well, I'll go into that a different time. Healing methods. Healing, there are so many different types of healing methods. It's not just physical healing, saying, oh, somebody's got a malady, I'm going to heal it. There's energetic healing. Somebody could have their energy out of whack, right? There's physical healing. There's mental healing, spiritual healing, and emotional healing. Now, when you get these facets together and you understand how you can actually heal somebody emotionally, help them heal themselves emotionally or mentally or physically, that's probably the highest calling. And it's probably the hardest thing to really get a handle on. Healing methods. Laws of attraction. Building a mind machine. A mindset machine. Probably mind force machine, right? Better described. Attracting wealth, health, relationships. And for many of you on this call or on this training, you're thinking to yourself, man, I would just love to be able to do that. And guess what? You already can. You've already got all the abilities that you need in order to make that happen. But I need to teach you how to believe it if you don't believe it, because it's within you. It's within everyone to be able to do that. It's just taking and rewiring some things. You need to learn how to become lucky. You need to learn how to understand that everything that you do is a benefit and a blessing, and that these blessings are bestowed upon you because you accept them. And that's really the key. And then the last is hypnotic influence. Hypnosis, self-hypnosis, hypnotic abundance methods, subliminal messaging, persuasion. And again, most people that teach an energetic method, they don't even cover a lot of these areas because they don't understand them. They haven't done the due diligence and deep work that I've done. I want you to write down on your notebook, because obviously you're taking notes, I hope, is I want you to write down the word, and you can put it in parentheses if you want, deep work. Let's do this. Let's do this as a little exercise here. Deep. Now, of course, I'm using my computer here, so this probably won't be the best writing that you're ever going to see me do. Deep work. What does deep work mean? It means you take something and you do a deep dive into it and you understand all of the intricacies of it that you possibly can be. And so for deep work could be any of the pillars. So let's say you want to get into abundance, right? You do deep work on that, right? And you focus on it and you learn and understand not only how it works, but why it'll work for you. Okay? As you can see, I'm not that great with that. Let's go back to the screen. We're going to go back and I'm going to share some more with you from the slides so that you really see what we're talking about. So these 6 pillars hold up your foundation for success. Quantum Qigong, esoteric meditation, psychic powers, healing methods, manifestation and abundance, hypnotic influence. They all integrate together beautifully. The reason I put them together, not just because I wanted to put all these random things together, is because they all work cohesively together. Now, the reason I get them to work so well is because there's 3 phases for transformation in each of those areas, in all of those areas. And that is inception, which is really getting started, right? You jump into something, you get started, and then execution, which means you put in the flight time. You go ahead and you put in the mental, physical, and spiritual efforts in order to make it happen. And when you do that, you're going to get the transformation out on the other side, right? That's the 3 phases for the transformation. Transformation, once you get a transformation, you could then use that same methodology to go to the next level of transformation, which is pretty darn amazing, I might add, right? So I'm going to give you a golden tip right now that will help you tremendously. And again, this is kind of an extra bonus to even some of the other things I mentioned that I would talk about. But I want you to really, really understand this. And I'm going to come back live to share this with you. And that is this, is that there are 3 big things. And again, I have these on the slides, but I wanted to talk to you face to face so that you can understand them. These are 3 things that you should do always when you're learning a new skill or enhancing an older one. It's something that I've been doing way before I even got started in this. And it has been something that has served me well in my entire career, my life, personally, as well as professionally. And so let's go through each one. Number 1 is you want to read books in your chosen field of study. When you read the top books, over time, you'll become an expert on that topic. So when I got started in this, I did research. I read books. I watched videos. I met people. I did everything I could to become good at this. I was not going to leave any stone unturned. I became immersed in the process of getting the knowledge that I could get good at this. Because if I couldn't do that, I wasn't going to do this. In other words, you need to become an outlier. And if you've ever heard of Malcolm Gladwell, in one of his books, he talks about outliers, and he talks about the 10,000 hours that it takes to get really good at something. I want you to look that up as well, because I want you to understand the process. However, I'm going to show you ways to significantly cut down on the time it takes to get really good at mind force and chi energy. So we're going to take that time, whatever that time is, and we're going to compress it so that you can get better faster. That's the key. That's my goal. It should be your goal as well. Number 2. So first one is read books on your given topic. And I know that sounds simple, right? Guess what though? It's a secret. It's a secret. If you do it, you'll get results. I was just talking to a high performance client of mine, and I said, "Are you reading?" He says, "Every single day, even if it's only 15 minutes, he's reading something on what it is he's trying to get good at." You want to be good? This is what you need to do. Now, if you don't want to be good, you just want to be one of the others, you could do that as well. Number 2 is attend the correct training that will model for you the method you want to become an expert or specialist in. So you got to find the right method, the right model. I believe the Mind Force method is that model. Now, there could be other methods out there that are equally as good. I haven't found them, but maybe they're out there. I know mine works very well, but there may be others out there, right? It's common sense that would be there, but you need to attend the correct training. I'm going to introduce you to a system that can enable you to become Mind Force and Quantum Qigong specialist. So you have all those pillars. You understand how they work. You understand how they integrate. And then you can use the pieces of them whenever you need them for any area of your life. You need to heal somebody. You've got this piece. You want to use a subliminal suggestion to help somebody. You use this piece. You want to develop somebody's energy. You want to develop your own energy. Grab this piece. You want to learn how to become more relaxed and in control. You grab that meditation piece. That's being a Mind Force specialist. Number 3, you need to associate and learn from a coach or mentor who has the skills, knowledge, and practical experience you desire. Now, a coach or mentor doesn't necessarily mean that they are better than you. That includes me, okay? I know I have a pretty high level of skill. However, my goal is to be able to transfer information to you, training, coaching, so that you can experience it at the highest level. I've got many people that I have trained over the years that are stronger than me in some areas. And I'm probably stronger than them in some areas. But that's the way it is. That's my ultimate goal. So I don't look at myself as, hey, the guru on the mountain, I'm the guy with all the answers. No, I'm the guy that can help you get from where you are to where you want to go, because I've already done the training. I've experienced the situations. I can, as one mentor of mine years ago told me, it's always better to go through a minefield behind someone, because they know where all the mines are and you don't have to worry about tripping one. Makes sense, right? So these 3 steps will aid you in all aspects of your life. And as you'll see, especially in learning and developing your esoteric internal skills, 3 steps. These are invaluable. I promise you they work. Write them down, read books, take the right training, and associate with a mentor or coach that can help you get to where you're going, and they can guide you. You see, a coach and a mentor guide you through the process. It's not just there and then you do it on your own. It's somebody that guides you, tweaks what you're doing, and so forth. Okay, we're going to talk about the Triad method as it relates to many different abilities and skills. And I'm going to pull up this slide here for you real quick so we can see what's here. Mind, force, and quantum QIGONG power skills. Now, this is just a sampling. This is not everything. There's probably thousands, if not 10,000s of different techniques, interpretations, modalities, and things that you can do within this type of training. And when I say this type of training, it's really esoteric training in its entirety, not just a mind force method. Mind force is just a method, okay? Telepathy, intuition, perceptions. You got body insight, awareness, and self-regulation, communication abilities, vitality, unique abilities, abilities to alter the environment directly, pain and pleasure, unusual perception skills, mind force power, the mind-body-spirit connection, love, which is very powerful, and energetic assimilation. Now, again, ask for the slides. I'm happy to send these items over to you. And you know, some of these items you're looking at and you're going, it seems a little weird too. But I want you to understand, I want you to open up your mind. Again, this is all about a transformation or breakthrough. I want you to have a breakthrough that says, you know, when you came onto this training, maybe you didn't believe that much, but now you go, you know what? So, you know, maybe this guy's a little crazy, but he makes sense with a lot of these items, and they really are interpretations of things I've experienced. And that's the key, is that we've all experienced these types of things. It's a matter of understanding how you do that. But let me give you the short version of how I created this method so you can see where I'm coming from. I started studying Chinese Kempo, thought I was pretty good. But then I met this guy, Stan Wilson, right? So I'm doing this hardcore karate and self-defense and Jeet Kune Do and Kung Fu and all these kind of things. But I bought a book from this guy that was in the back of a karate magazine. Never met the guy personally. We started to trade martial arts videos. This was back in the early 90s. So there was no internet. There was videotapes. You know, you had to find, you know, these videos wherever you could get them. And one of the videos was on internal penchak silat. And it was showing chi striking, chi manipulation techniques. And I was just blown away. I was just like, wow, this is so cool. But of course I was skeptical. I didn't believe it. I had always been taught there was no such thing as chi. I was raised in a very conservative Christian background. So, you know, I certainly didn't want to do anything that was considered satanic or not Christian-like, right? But it allowed me to enter the world of the internal, which is really what we're talking about here, right? Esoteric internal. And I began an investigation into all things internal and chi related. And see, it started out as chi with martial arts. And I started studying Tai Chi, QIGONG, Bagua, Xing Yi, Dim Mak, right? And then I went to the library and started to research other phenomenon to find a pattern, right? So it wasn't just Qi and martial arts and that kind of thing. Psychic powers, out-of-body experiences, magic, anything esoteric that I could find to prove or disprove this concept of Qi or energy, okay? And think about it. This is before the internet. So I went to any library, any bookstore, and I started reading voraciously. Again, going back to what I just talked about, is I started to read. I started to listen. I started to do anything I could, including meeting people that I could. I also spoke to my Russian grandmother who had been doing strange stuff my entire life. Like she would do this candle trick where if you weren't feeling well or you were in a bad emotional state, she would do this candle trick. It was an old Russian, let's call it magic trick. And it would remove the evil spirits from the house. And she was taught these things by her mother. Of course, when I was a kid, I thought it was crazy. Oh, grandma's doing her candle trick again. But then as I started thinking about this, it all came back to me, right? And I knew one thing. I didn't want to invest time in something unless I was confident it would work. So I, in a rapid time, immersion, learning, this is something I want to do, but I need to find the right people. So I would travel in my car to find someone as far as I could go. If they could teach me good stuff, I would learn from them. If their stuff was garbage, then I didn't worry about it. And this was the emphasis and really the inception of the spiritual, mental, physical Qi that I call the Triad method, the Qi Triad. And there's 3 cornerstones of the Triad. And through all of my research, I realized there were 3 main elements in order to get good at it. Of course, this comes back to that mind, body, spirit thing, right? What a lot of people talk about. Mental Qi, using your mind to create things to happen. Your mind does create. It always does. It always has, always will. And you know that to be true. Think about it though. Your mind has always created for you the outcomes that you want. Probably some of the hardest things that you'll ever hear me say, it's the hardest thing for me to hear too, is that you are the controller of your life, no matter where it's at right now. So if your life is going great, you made it happen. And guess what? If your life is not that great right now, you also made that happen. That's a tough pill to swallow, but it's true. And if you write it down and you contemplate or meditate on it, you'll realize that it is true, which means you need to make a decision to get yourself out of that rut and move on to where you need to be. I will teach you the concepts to make that happen. Physical Qi is being good at externalization of Qi energy. A lot of people talk about Qi energy, feel the Qi, but they don't have any Qi that you can feel. They have no way that they can help you recognize it inside yourself. I'm going to show you in just a few minutes how we can do that. Spiritual Qi is tapping into the spiritual essence, using your spirit eyes and seeing things that maybe you've never seen before. Or maybe some of you are on this training and you're like, dude, I already see that stuff. I already experience it, but I don't know how it happens. And I think I'm half crazy. And that's just it. Most people that are crazy have their spiritual eyes open. And it's hard for them to deal with what they're seeing. So you're going to learn that physical Qi manipulation. So you can build it, externalize that Qi. Mental Qi manipulation, where you've got strong mindset. And then spiritual Qi manipulation, which allows you to understand that you are a spiritual being. Like I said, this body is just a shell, and eventually it will die. And yet spirit of yours is going to live on forever. So you never die spiritually. Only your shell will leave, but your spirit will stay and go to wherever it goes. But let me tell you a little bit about some of the instructors I had so you kind of get a glimpse. You know, all were good, but not every one of them, none of them were complete. Everyone I trained with was great at a skill. And see, as I started putting these pillars together, I would learn from different people, different skills. One instructor was great at teaching physical fighting and using Qi, right? Fighting Qi, but didn't believe the spiritual side of Qi. And in fact, was a little afraid of it and wouldn't even talk about it. I mean, literally, if I brought it up, he would say to me, I don't believe in that. That's garbage. But see, in my mind, I thought, how can you not believe in that? You already got your Qi going with the striking and everything like that. And the spiritual side is just as tangible. But for whatever reason, he had a closed mind. Another one was good at mental, visual aspects of Qi or energy, but had no physical representation of physical Qi. In fact, didn't even teach it. He taught more mental chi, right? But I learned a lot from this person because they had unbelievable mindset and mental chi skills. And another was totally into the spiritual side and fighting side, but lacked mental clarity, confidence, and focus. And he was high on drugs every time I visited him. Now, you would think, hey, how could you learn from somebody like that? But you know what? If you're focused and you know what you're there for, you can learn from anyone, even if they are a drugged out person that's chain smoking cigarettes and smoking joints at 8 a.m. in the morning. You can still learn from that person. Okay, I found one that was purely focused on abundance and wealth, but knew very little about other things at all. But he had an unbelievable abundance mindset. So again, you can take these concepts and you can learn, you can adapt, and you can build, right? Another one was good at mental and spiritual and physical, but was totally crazy. I mean, this person was nutty, okay? She taught me some great things, but wow, she was out there. But that's the way it is, okay? That's the way it is with training. So as I go through each component of the secret triad and the many anomalies, please reflect how you may have experienced them in your life or how you would like to. So in physical chi training, there's a couple things that you're going to learn. You're going to learn flow patterns, chi infusion techniques, nerve fiber buildup, chi distillation, steady flow of energy, surging power, body breathing, energy triangulation, circular rotation of the chi, liquid chi, chi magnification. And some of the exercises that you'll do is standing meditations, chi infusion, blood washing, screen training. And again, these are just some of the techniques, and they all expand to develop the chi. Just like you would bodybuild in a gym, you're going to build your physical chi up. Body insight awareness and self-regulation. I've just picked a couple of these. These are kind of physical and mental techniques. Body insight awareness is where you really have an insight into your body. You can tell and you can feel every aspect of your body in your brain. You can feel your internal organs just by thinking about them. You can even feel others like that. You know, if you have an injury, you can feel it, and you obviously can heal it a lot quicker. And then self-regulation is being able to increase your body's ability to do things like raise your temperature, decrease your temperature, pulse, decrease the pulse, raise your blood pressure, lower the blood pressure, change the temperature, change your body temperature from hot to cold. That is self-regulation, and you'll learn this. They're both physical and mental techniques, but you'll learn it in the first year of the inner circle. Remarkable vitality. You can look online on, I don't know if it's called remarkable vitality, but you can find a guy who's a marathon runner who runs for 24 hours straight. That's remarkable vitality. Now, did he do this type of training to get there? No, I believe he was a natural at it. His body is and mind and everything is just connected to be able to do that. And there are other people that can do the same. Well, everyone has different talents and abilities, but one of them is remarkable vitality. How do you create remarkable vitality? You do these exercises to create your own remarkable vitality. Now, does that mean you're going to run 24 hours straight? Probably not. However, I'm going to take you from where you are to the next best level. Unique abilities. These are all different types of abilities that you would, until now, would think are, let's say, almost magical, almost things that you've read about in books or seen in movies and things like that, but didn't believe they were real. But if you really understand any unique ability you've ever heard of, whether it's a Jedi mind trick, whether it's somebody walking through walls or levitating or anything like that, there is always some type of factual reference to it at some point. And what you need to do is ask yourself again the question, how can that work? Mind force power is physical, mental, spiritual, hypnotic influence, self-hypnosis, subliminal suggestions, mind-to-mind communication, manifestation and attraction, mind control, and mentalism. All right, so let's do this. I want you to experience the chi now. So let me come back from the slides and we're going to do this. We're going to do this in a couple different phases. First one is I want you to experience the chi from me, and you can do that right now, right here, right now. Is sit comfortably in your chair. I want you to just take a few seconds to just clear your mind a little bit. Just tell your mind, clear. mind is clear, body's relaxed. If you want to relax your body, you can always take your hands and just kind of pull down and relax. It's almost like you don't even have any bones. You're just relaxed, limp, no worries, no concerns. And you can close your eyes or you can leave your eyes open, but I want you to just relax. I want you to physically feel each finger at a time. Start at your thumb, go to the pointing finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky, and just feel it. Call them out. Talk to your fingers. Feel the energy. Then go to your toes. See if you can feel your toes. The toes are harder to feel because we walk on our feet all the time. Our toes are always active by standing, and so they're harder to feel. But by doing the sensitivity exercise, you can start to feel them, and you really want to be able to feel your entire body. Once you have your fingers and toes bathed in chi, you can experience the next part. Now, I want you to feel my chi a little bit, so I'm just going to relax down a little bit. And send some chi out to you. And you might pick it up as a nice, calm, relaxed, euphoric energy that's just kind of swirling around your body. The way I'm sending it out is kind of like a hula hoop almost, if you know what a hula hoop is. And it's wrapping around your body. It's causing you to feel really, really good. And that's the way you should always make your chi feel. It's really good and really euphoric, really blissful, nice and cool. Not cold, but cool. Comfortable. Not hot, but comfortable. It's like the ultimate temperature that just relaxes you. Now, some people are warm people and they like to be warm. So you feel the chi as warmth. There's others that love to be cool. So make your energy a little cooler. It's part of that self-regulation that I talked about. But feel it. Now I want you to open up your eyes because I'm going to go to the next slide. I'm going to take a look at it. And I want you to focus on this image, which shows the solar plexus in the Dantian, which is also called the chi point. And I'm going to send energy right to you, right there. I want you to see if you can feel it, what it feels like. So look at that. See the solar plexus, feel it. You can close your eyes if you want or leave them open if you desire. Solar plexus, the same. And feel the swirling energy that I'm sending to both of those areas. One and then the other, and then simultaneously. You should be able to feel it. In fact, if you've done any energy work, your mind is automatically connecting to those 2 points. And you can feel it. And it feels really good. All right, so let's come back. Can you feel it? Write down in your journal, your notebook, what it feels like. If you can reference it. You can, and like I said, I'll send these slides to you so that you can use them. You can use that slide to practice on that. It's a great technique to use. Now let's talk about mental chi training, sitting meditation, subliminals, hypnotic influence, mind force, brain mapping. Okay. And we're going to go into a little detail on some of these concepts, but you'll use these concepts with telepathy, intuition, sensitivity, It's that mental ESP, right? You're going to get that by doing these exercises. You can also talk about pain and pleasure, experiencing intense pain, intense pleasure, removing pain, and focusing on the pleasure. Most people, by the way, they either move away from pain or move towards pleasure. Write that down in your notes. Do I move more away from pain or move towards pleasure? The reason you want to know this is because it's going to allow you to understand your abundance factors and your manifestation abilities just by knowing that key factor. Because if you're the type of person that moves away from pain, you need to teach yourself something different than somebody that moves towards pleasure, and vice versa. So think about that. Communication abilities, mental, spiritual. We communicate on all levels. I'll teach you and get you to understand that it's not just speaking. It's mental, physical, spiritual, and even more. Abilities to alter the environment directly. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't really done this much, but several of my students have done it and they've become extremely good at it. It hasn't been something I've ever done, but I put it in here because some people were interested in it. I've never done it. I really never have, but I can teach you how you can get good at it because the concepts are universal on how you can take it and move from one skill to the next. Unusual perception skills, okay? Perceiving what's going on in a room around you, understand what people are feeling, the emotional capacity of what somebody does. Again, taps into that psychic, mental, physical sense. They all work together. It's not just one element. It's many. Now, let's try the next exercise, which is called sleepy eye peripheral vision. And I want you to relax the eyes. I want you to root the eyes. I want you to do this, and I'm going to show it to you real quick here, is if you see me here on the camera, sleepy eye peripheral vision is where you squint the eyes like this. You make them sleepy. And you'll notice when you go into this sleepy eye that your body automatically relaxes. You cannot get in an argument and be mad with sleepy eyes. Just like if you're sleeping and somebody said something to you and you were kind of hardly awake, you couldn't argue with them. They might yell at you. They could say something to you. You would have to wake up. But when you're in sleepy eye peripheral vision, you're relaxed. And I want you to look peripherally. Okay? What do you see? What do you feel when you go in that sleepy eye peripheral vision? And just let your body sense. Okay? When you do this sleepy eye peripheral vision, you can create what's called a chi screen that you send out to use as a way to feel different sensations. Now, let's go back to the slide for the next piece of this journey. Okay, we're going to do mental chi recognition. It's called brain mapping. I want you to focus on the numbers on this picture. Again, keep your sleepy eyes, keep your peripheral vision, right? And as I call it the numbers, can you feel them? All right. I could assign a specific command to a number, and I could pack into that number what you could do at a later time, an instruction. This is a hypnotic triggering mechanism used with the chi. Any command that I direct at you will be embedded into your subconscious mind. Even we don't have to be face to face. We don't need to be together for me to do this. This is what I will teach you to do to control your internal dialogue and how to help others do the same. When I do this, I'm simultaneously using my chi, my thoughts, and my words. It's a mini triad effect. So for example, when I look at the number 33 as an example, and I send this energy to you, I'm speaking to you. I'm physically sending the energy to you. And I'm also mentally thinking not only of the number, but of the thought that I want you to understand. So I want you to feel that number 33 by looking at the chart and recognizing it. If you want to close your eyes for a second to see how you feel it, that's fine. And then let's go to number 31, which is just above the left eye. Can you feel the energy? Can you feel me writing the number into your mind, into your head? You should be able to feel that number. I can send an intent with it if I so desire. Now let's go to number 35, which is the top of your head. And it's the largest piece of these numbers. It covers almost your entire top of your head. And can you feel that number 35? Can you feel that intention, that soft energy that's just bouncing slightly? This is what's called brain mapping. I can take this concept and I can move it in any direction that I want. I can focus on any part of your head. If you and I were sitting in a room and I think we're good here. So I just got a notification that my microphone wasn't working, so I was hoping that it came through. So hopefully we're still good on everything. So anyway, spiritual chi training. Anyway, I was getting back to the head. Is that this is brain mapping, and you can literally send subliminal information to somebody, commands directly to their brain, and you can use that map as the brain, and you can scale it out any way you want. You set the intentions on how you want to do that. It's pretty cool stuff. Spiritual chi training is next. So let's check that out, shall we? All right. So spiritual chi training is lying down meditations, OBE, nighttime dream training, which again is something that very few people even know about. Can't teach it. You're not going to find it very few places. Psychic sensitivity, obviously, parts of it. And this physical, mental, spiritual sensitivity, you take the physical and the mental, it's going to get you the spiritual. And so many people have these questions like, I have all these spiritual questions. Well, if you build up your energy, your chi energy, and your mind force, the two of those combined are going to open up that enlightenment to spiritual. Because number one, we're going to teach how to open up your third eye. It's both a mental and a physical exercise, at least how I teach it. Some people just talk about it from, saying we're going to open it, but they don't have a physical exercise to do it. I have several physical exercises that allow you to open up the third eye. However, the third eye, more importantly, is not necessarily just the third eye. It's really having a sensitivity throughout the entire body so that you can feel with the entire body, not just with a third eye area. And that's really significant to know. The mind, body, spirit connection, right? Everybody talks about it. But when you can integrate it, you become a whole being. You become a whole person. Most people are purely physical. You can see some people are extremely body beautiful. They look fantastic physically, strong maybe, fast, whatever the case might be. Mentally, maybe they're lacking. But when you can get all these items together, and again, this is not a religious thing, it's a spiritual thing. You are a full-bodied person when you can do that. And then unique abilities, like we talked about, OBE, out-of-body experiences, remote viewing, astral projection, lucid dreaming. These are all things that come with these unique spiritual abilities. The question is with a lot of these things is, are you in spirit form? Are you not? It's a question you want to write down too, because it's a tricky answer. And then, of course, love. Love is emotional power. And the reason I use this one is because everyone understands the concept of love at some level. You could be married. You could have a boyfriend or girlfriend, and that love can be very strong, obviously. However, the love I want you to think about is the love, if you have children, is the love a parent has for their child. It's something that is, it's almost unbreakable in most cases. And the love that you have for a child is something that is so strong because it's never ending. You could fall out of love with a spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend. Happens, right? Unfortunately. But with a child, very rarely does that happen. And it usually goes back both ways. But you love your child so much. That love, if you can take that love essence from that concept and you can take that emotion that you have and put it into other relationships, can you imagine how much more effective you'll be? And again, when I say relationships, I'm not just talking about a sexual relationship, I'm not talking about just a relationship with a loved one. I'm talking about business relationships, career relationships, work relationships, relationships with somebody that's doing a service for you. When they feel that love, they're going to do that much of a better job because they can feel it. Now, let's talk about the next thing, which is spiritual recognition, spiritual dimension jumping. And again, stay relaxed. You can go into sleepy eye, peripheral vision. I want you to think of a time in your life when you had a feeling of falling while sleeping. Everyone's had this. And yet, unless you think about it, you might not really know what it is. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. But sometimes it's your spirit falling back into the body. And sometimes it isn't. But you've had the recognition. I want you to remember that. Have you ever seen someone in a dream who has passed? It could be a sibling, it could be a parent, it could be a grandparent, it could be a child. But you've seen that person, you've experienced that person. The question is, was it a dream? Or was it a spiritual connection between you and that person, you and that entity? Sometimes you feel like you were in a place that was real, but you were in a dream. The question is, were you? That's the question. I can't answer that question. Only you can. And only you can find out if it was or if it wasn't. I want you to remember that time. I want you to feel it. How did it make you feel? What did you think about when you experienced that? I want you to take this exercise and use it ongoing, anytime you want to. It only takes a couple minutes, and yet it gives you the recognition of something that's out there differently. It's a spiritual recognition. Was I in spirit form or was I not? Many people will deny it, but deep inside your mind, you know it to be true. This is the first start of your spiritual recognition. Now, for many of you that have already been through it, you already understand it, but it's always good to go back and reflect on it, even on a weekly basis, because sometimes you'll run into these instances as much as weekly, sometimes even nightly, and you really want to know where you're at on that scale. So has this training been helpful for anyone on here so far? Hopefully it has been very helpful for you. And, it's definitely something that I've enjoyed taking you through. And of course, we're not done yet, because I want you to get the most out of this type of training. And I've put together a special preview into my new Inner Circle system. Now, stay till the end, because I'm still going to give you my How to Manifest in 3 days method in just a few minutes. But I'm going to go through with you what's in the Inner Circle so that you can see if it's something that you might want to participate in. And also, I've got a very, very, very special offer for you if you're so inclined to do that. If you're not, that's fine. I suggest you stay till the end anyway, because you'll know what's available, what's possible. And that's really cool. So what we're going to do is talk about how do you learn these types of techniques, right? You might have to travel to a foreign country. You might have to enroll in a training environment, camp environment, and people don't even understand what that means. But there are training facilities out there where you can learn these types of techniques, but you got to, sign up for like a year, right? And they indoctrinate you, and you get really, really good, really, really fast because you were indoctrinated, right? But these secrets are not limited to a country or to a culture or anything like that. These concepts are universal. And you may not think you can find them. You can find them Russians, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, American Indians. You can find it from South American Indians. You can find it from Aborigines. You can find it from African nations. You can find it from Icelandic nations, European nations. So it's not just what most people would think, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, right? Because that's where a lot of these arts and sciences came from, right? But obviously you need to find somebody that can teach you, and that might not be the easiest thing to do. I'm someone that certainly can help you go from where you're at to where you want to be. But here's the question you have to ask yourself. Can they help you get to a high performance level in a reasonable amount of time? That's the ticket. Can they do what they say they're going to do? But more importantly, can they teach you how to get to where you want to go? I mean, that's really the key. Now, between 1994 and 2007, I spent time researching, visiting, and training with some of the very best esoteric practitioners in the world. And I decided to take action with my knowledge and skill. And let me just show you some of the things that I want to share with you as we go to the slide. Is I created the Chi Power Inner Circle in 2008. It was the first online Qigong curriculum of its kind. I introduced the closed door year number 2 in 2009, and then opened up the third year instructor system in 2010. It was the only way to learn this method, and you had to spend 3 years as an apprentice in order to make it happen. It was the first time you could learn advanced training methods without having to go to a foreign country, without having to be in a long-term training camp. And you could do it in the comfort of your home from your computer, which I thought was really cool. I wish I would have had it when I started. But let me show you the pathway to get access to this great learning system. Introducing the new Mind Force Inner Circle. Now, this is the phase 1 aspect of it, and that's what we're going to talk about today is phase 1. I'm going to show you phase 2 and phase 3 so that you know what's upcoming. But this is phase 1. This is formally year 1 of the Inner Circle. Current price is $1,188 per year. And I'm not going to go through all these exercises. And again, you can get copy of these slides to see all the techniques and things that you're going to learn. But there's a lot of things you can learn, just even in the first year. Excuse me. And quite frankly, this is only a small percentage of what you're going to learn. And yet these are the types of things you're going to learn in the first year alone. In the second year, you're going to learn even more complex concepts in order to develop your chi energy body and your mind force. Okay. And then in year 3, you're going to learn even more. Oh, by the way, the second year is $1,788. And phase 3, which is the third year instructors training, is $2,388. And again, you can look at these slides to go through all the concepts, but there's a lot of really cool concepts here, like the chi chamber, triangulating the power, energy placement, distance healing, integration of sounds, using colors, vortex and spiral training, exercise, building heavy chi, very cool stuff. And I want to make sure you can get access to these special training to accelerate your learning curve. Each week, we'll go through exactly what you need to do in order to maximize your chi and your mind force, and also work to becoming fully certified in this method. And believe me, I've stacked the value of principles, techniques, and methods taught so you can become a mind force and quantum qigong specialist. Before I give you the last, final, and most important tip of this entire training, I'd like to spend 5 minutes and share with you exactly what you're going to get when you enroll in the 12-week Immersion Inner Circle system. You're absolutely going to love it. I've packed it with value like you can't imagine. Now, first thing you're going to get is you're going to get access to a bonus 3 weeks of bonus boot camps and master classes that are going to enable you to have more advanced training and knowledge than what is usually included. And I've worked the program into a very special secret sauce, our 9-step system. Starts with an inception, which is the first 30 days, progression, which is the second 30 days, and then transformation, which is the last 30 days. And I think what you're going to see is I've also included some elements that go far beyond the 12-week system. In addition, you're going to get access to the Mind Force library. On top of that, I'm going to give you access to every single course masterclass that I've ever created over the years. And as you can see right on this page, and again, you can click on the link below to get access to this page, but for right now, just pay attention because again, I got one more tip that I want to share with you. But as you can see, I've included the entire kitchen sink of the Mind Force and Quantum Qigong Master System in this enrollment of the 12-week immersion system. And let me just show you the different things that you're going to get. And again, you can spend some time going through this, but I've got several different options for you. I decided to make it easy so that I can match anyone's particular economic situation so that they can afford whichever system they want. You also have the ability to get certified in as little as 90 days. Most people will take up to a year, but if you really are ambitious and aggressive, you can get certified in as little as 90 days. Now, you're going to get access today for a fraction of what this will cost you in the future. Here's what you're going to get. You're going to get the complete first year of the Inner Circle. It's a $1,188 value. You're also going to get the Master System, as I mentioned above, the complete home study courses. Also, I'm going to ship, for certain values, I'm going to ship out the hard copies. You're going to get unlimited email access. It's a $1,000 value. You're going to get a special QA webinar, $300 value, but I just showed you I'm going to give you 3 of those, so it's really $1,000. You're going to get 3 deep dive coaching sessions, and this is where we really deep dive on everything that you do in your life, everything from your mental, physical, spiritual, financial, any areas that you want to delve in. You and I will do this. 3 45-minute to an hour sessions that will be recorded so that you have forever. You're also going to get, and this is brand spanking new, 12 months unlimited laser coaching. It's a $2,000 value. Now, what laser coaching is, in addition to the deep dive coaching, is essentially where you get access to me 15 minutes at a time for any quick questions, homework issues, training situations that come up in 15-minute short bursts of information. It's not as thorough as the deep dive, but it's fantastic because you're getting unlimited access for an entire 12 months. You're also going to get a professionally designed software to use with the system, which is amazing. Now, the total value of this is $10,288, but I can assure you you're not going to pay anywhere near that. I've broken it down into 3 great options to choose from. Obviously, the best option is the 12-week immersion, 12-month Inner Circle 101 coaching workshop. This is the 12-week transformation package for high performers, plus 1 full year of Inner Circle access. You're going to love this option. It's $1,997 or 3 payments of $697. You get the one-on-one coaching and mentoring, unlimited email, 12 months to the Inner Circle, all courses and books. You get the master classes and boot camps. You get the personalized activity software. You get the 3 deep dive sessions. You get the 12 months of unlimited laser coaching, with, quite frankly, I charge $1,997 alone for that. So, I mean, just that alone is worth the entire package. And then you're going to get special hard copies sent to your home with this package. The next package is the 12-week accelerated immersion self-paced. Now, this has everything with the exception of the coaching packages in this program. The only difference is with regard to the courses, you will only get the digital downloads of all the courses, whereas with the $1997 option, you get hard copies. All the hard copies that I have, you get sent out, and you also get the digital. So those are 2 amazing ways that you can enroll. The third option is for someone that just doesn't have the kind of money to put into those other 2 programs, and you can come on at $99 per month. Now, the difference is you're going to get email support. You're going to get all courses and books granted after time served. So unlike the other 2 packages where you get immediate downloads, in this program, since you're paying monthly, you're going to get one of the courses each month as you go through the Inner Circle system. You're going to get all current and past modules. You're going to get the monthly master classes, unlimited Inner Circle access, and of course you can get certification after completion. So this is the entire aspect of the 12-week immersion Inner Circle system. I've added an entire year of the Inner Circle in all of these packages, And in the coaching package, you're going to get not only the 3 deep dive sessions, you're going to get 12 months of unlimited laser coaching. So select which one fits best for your needs and stay tuned because I'm going to give you the best tip ever. Let me tell you about the super bonus tip on how to manifest in 3 days. I promised to you, and I'm going to give it to you right now. Here's how you manifest in 3 days. Is number one, you set your intent. Now, your intent, as we've discussed, is not just a mental thing, but it's a physical and it's a spiritual. You're combining the triad, right? You're using your words, you're using your mind, you're using your energy, you're using your spirit, okay? You direct your mind force and your chi energy towards the results that you want. Here's the key. You want to have an indirect focus of knowing that it will happen. Now, I'm going to give you the thought process on this. Is that when you book a trip to go on a vacation, you book a hotel, you book a flight, and you might even book a car. And you might do it several months in advance. And you call the travel agent or you go online and you book the flight, you book the hotel, and you book the car. And once it's booked, you're locked in. And you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you are going on that vacation whenever that you're going on that vacation. You don't need to second guess it, right? Well, that's the way your mind intent has to be if you want to manifest quickly, is that it's almost like a set it and forget it. You've already booked it. It's going to happen. When you get that mindset, you're going to make things happen at a rapid pace. Conceive it, believe it, and achieve it. And then you want to say it through repetition. Even though you've confessed it and you've said it and forget it, I'm going to give you an affirmation that you can use to add additional clarity to this process. I am abundant in every good way. Infinite money is mine to earn, save, invest, exponentially multiply, and share. My abundance is making everyone better off. I embrace abundance, and abundance embraces me. Every resource I need, tangible and intangible, is possessed by someone, somewhere, at this very moment. How can I find these individuals and persuade them to provide me with these resources? Now, that I say every day. And it is responsible or partly responsible for the manifestation and creation process. Don't look at this and just say, oh, okay, great. I want you to read over every line of this every day and understand what it means. I'm going to give you one line just to show you. My abundance is making everyone better off. You see, what you're doing is you're creating a process of giving. My abundance is making everyone better off. You see? Abundance, I embrace abundance, and abundance embraces me. You see? Every resource I need, tangible and intangible, is possessed by someone somewhere at this very moment. Powerful, powerful stuff that I know if you'll use it, you will get amazing results. So it's all there for you. All you need to do is take advantage of it. If you have any questions, please reach out to me either by email. You can give my cell phone a call. You can find it on several of the websites that are out there. If not, shoot me an email if you want to discuss anything. I'd be happy to do that and help you to understand if this is the right choice for you. Like I said, you've got 3 choices. You can continue doing what you're doing right now. You can do nothing, or you can take this opportunity and run with it with the inner circle. I know you're going to enjoy it. And this is a fantastic opportunity for you to get access the entire year at a really great price and get access to all the other tools that I've provided in the master system immediately. So go ahead and take advantage of it. I really enjoyed this information. I hope you got a lot of great content and information. Remember, we went over several different techniques, tools, methods that you can use. I think all of them will serve you well if you will use them. That last one on the abundance, creating, manifesting in just 3 days or less is amazing if you use it. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic day. So long.